what is up, my britches? If you're new here, hello, my name is Brittany. Welcome back. It's been a minute. Technical difficulties with the background and the settings, but hopefully everything goes well. I'm going to have to do some adjusting, so bear with me. We changed up some things. I had to bring the lights back, okay? It's the first one back in a minute, but I wanted to do my best eyeshadow palettes of 2023. I do plan on doing a best makeup of 2023 as well. Subscribe, hit the thumbs ups. Forgot to put the ring on today, but it's fine. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Guys, listen, this sound could not be more perfect right now because it's a hot fucking mess over here, all right? So make sure you guys like the video, subscribe if you're new, and let's jump into my favorite palettes of 2023. Disclaimer right out the way. I did not buy a ton of new palettes this year. So I feel like in my video, you're going to see a lot of palettes that you probably didn't see. You're going to see a couple that you saw in other videos. But I like I said, I just really wasn't buying anything. And then, well, let me rephrase. I wasn't buying that many palettes because I was in very much my like one and done girl era. Okay, so palettes weren't really at the top of my list. And honestly, not a ton really sparked my interest. Don't get me wrong. I probably bought more than the average consumer. But I also wanted to talk about just different palettes that I really loved, and I didn't just use them once. Like, I used them throughout the entire year. Like, there's been some banger of palettes that launched this year, but I only used them like once or twice. So I'm like, that doesn't count. That doesn't mean it's a best palette of 2023. So I'm going to talk about the palettes that I used the absolute piss out of. And they're not going to be ones. Some of them are going to launch in 2023. Some of them might have launched several years ago. I didn't go back and look, but I just went through my collection and I'm like, okay, these are, you know, ones that I consistently reach for, or I really like the color stories, the quality's there, all that stuff. So first one, I believe that this launched this year. I could be wrong, but this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Cosmos palette. I hope, like, when I pull up products, my lights don't... Okay, it's really not changing that much. But this one, I wasn't going to get it because at the time I was like, I'm not fucking using palettes. I just was trying not to waste so much money on eyeshadow palettes that I wasn't going to use. But this one, I seen it in store and I'm like, do you see that blue right there? I don't even fucking wear blue eyeshadow hardly. And it just totally sold me this palette. I thought it was so beautiful. And I had other palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Like, I think it was the Rose Metal one. This is the one that I picked up this year. I want to say one other one. But this is the one that I was like, do you see how pretty this is? This is just totally up my alley. And I just love the color story. I love the quality of it. Everything about it, I fucking loved it. Packaging, super cute. I'm not going to go into super detail. It's going to be, long story short, I loved it. I used the shit out of it. The quality's good. You get it, right? There is one palette that I'm going to focus primarily the video on just because I'm like, this was the best palette of the year, hands down. But I will get there. It will be towards the end. Next one that I really enjoyed this year was the Lunar Beauty Full Fantasy palette. I did like the Siren Sunset, I think is what it's called. That's the newest palette that Lunar Beauty came out with. I can pretty much guarantee that I'm going to love every palette that Lunar Beauty ever does because the quality, the just overall variety that you get. But this color story is what really spoke to me. I love like the poopy, almost like goldish browns and shit like that. I love this shit, okay? This is just a palette that speaks to me. It's got some purples in there. It's got some greens in there. I'm trying to get myself in focus right now. Can you tell that this is a color story that's for me? Because it 100% is. And they're beautiful. Like, the metallics, I don't think are the exact same as they used to be. But I still like them. I still feel that the Moonspell palette is the best palette that Lunar Beauty's ever done. But this was a very nice palette. I did reach for it quite a bit. Not a ton, but it was one that I was like, okay, I like this brand. And that was the #1 palette that I would say that I pulled this year. But they're still very, very nice eyeshadows. They're not as, I would say, like sparkly and reflective as what I feel the previous ones were. But it's a nice, solid palette for a not terrible price point. Next, we have the Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge, which I thought that this was going to be the #1 palette of the year. I even think I said that, like the first time that I used it, or one of the first times that I used it, I remember saying, I'm like, this is going to be one of the best palettes of the year. And I do think it was one of the best, but I don't think it was the best by any means. But I really like the color story. It is grungy to me. It's neutral, which I love that shit. I like the variety of different textures that this has, but I do notice that I have to use this completely different than how I use pretty much every other eyeshadow palette that I use. I have to start lighter and work my way deeper, whereas any other palette, for the most part, I don't have to do that. So now that I know that, I don't hate it as much, but it's like a compilation of everything that I like about this one. But I also really like the packaging too. Super cute. I did really like it. I didn't use it as much as I thought, but I still would classify this as one of the best palettes of the year because I love this type of shit. All right. Then we have the Adept Cosmetics Minka palette. This launched last year, and it's self-explanatory why I love this so much. It's so sparkly. It's so reflective. Just look at these. You know how I always talk about the Divina Cosmetics, what are they called? They're like the super sparkly, like Moonlit, I know is the name of one of them. These are just like some of the sparkliest eyeshadows that I've ever seen. There's only like 2 mattes in this palette, so I feel like this is solely the palette that I reach for when I want this right here. And I don't have this in a lot of different palettes. I have this more of in singles, but it's so good. The high quality packaging, it's beautiful. And I also really love that there's a couple dual chromes, or you might even classify these as multi-chromes. But you've got these 2 shades right here are mattes, but I don't even think I've touched them. I use this solely for, you know, the sparkles, because we love that shit. All right. Then we have a palette that I consistently talk about this brand. I always say to people, I'm like, I don't know how like the whole YouTube space isn't talking about this brand, but the Vieve 90s palette. I'm just making sure we're still good. Like, I don't see the chat moving at all. Are y'all still there? Are you guys still there? But this palette right here, first of all, I love the packaging. I love everything about Vieve. Okay, this is one of my favorite brands, period. And this palette, like, I don't reach for it a ton, but this is one of the best cool tone palettes I have ever touched in my entire life. It's so approachable in my opinion. It's pigmented, it's blendable. Everything about this is pure perfection. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This is one of the best cool tone palettes. The end. Period. If you're looking for something that is more approachable, I feel like this is excellent. Like, I feel like, especially with cool tones, they're very intimidating. Like, they can very much make you look dead in a snap. These ones you still can, you know, you definitely still can. Like, I pull this out a lot during Halloween, actually, but I love the texture of these. I'm going to say these are more of shimmers. They're not metallics. Like, I think they classify them as metallics, but I would not. I would say that these are more of like a shimmer. But again, it's very approachable, and I love the color story. I just think it's such a great palette. Still going strong in 2023. That was another reason why I wanted to really focus on palettes. Like, I didn't care if they launched this year because I want to know, like, did they stand the test of time? Like, I want to say that launched in 2022 as well. But still going strong, guys. Still going strong. Vieve has been on your wish list, girl. Get it together. It looks similar to the Grunge. It kind of gives a similar vibe, except I feel like this is grungier. I don't know why. It's just like the undertones are just a little bit better, if I say so myself. But pretty grunge, you're going to get a way better variety of textures. So similar color story, similar vibe, except you get a little bit more with the pretty grunge just because you get those really like high shine metallic eyeshadows. Whereas this one, it's more of the user friendliness of it. And then the soft shimmery satins. That's what we'll call them. Shimmery satins. So you're not getting that abundancy of different textures, if that makes sense. Next we have what I feel that you probably saw in every fucking video like this year, which is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. This palette is very good, and I do believe that this is one of the best palettes of the year. But I'd be lying if I said there wasn't something missing. I still think that Biba is the best palette that Natasha Denona's done because it has everything that I look for. And that's why I'm not super pissed at this, because I'm like, okay, but I still have Biba, so it's fine. But I feel like this is missing something. Like, I wish that there was a black, but I get why there's not. So it's like a catch-22. Like, I get it. It's a great palette. Great variety of textures. I think the metallics in here are super pretty. Like, I love it, but I want more. I honestly like the metallic formula in, like, the face eye palettes better than what we get in these. And I might be the unpopular opinion. I feel like there was something different about Biba. Like, the formulas are different. The formula in Biba is unmatched. I still don't feel like even this, it's not the same. So something definitely has changed, I think. I say that. That's like an oxymoron. But I think something has changed with Natasha Denona. Still produces great quality. I like that you're getting less shadows, but more, like, less, what do you want to say? It's, you're getting smaller pans, but you're getting more colors. I like that. I like that we're not getting these big-ass pans and less colors. So I do like the midi-sized palettes, but Biba is still the number one, in my opinion. Oh, you just got the mini Biba? Yes! I don't think I love this palette as much. Oh, you didn't love the palette as much as you thought you would? Okay. I have always been a Pat McGrath shit-talking bitch. If you've been a follower of mine for any amount of time, I'm always the one that's like, I don't fucking get it. I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype. Blah, blah, blah. This year, I'm pretty sure it was 2023. It might have been 2022, but I didn't start using these palettes until 2023, or at least I think. I did not get the hype until I used Midnight Sun. This palette is so fucking beautiful. Everything about this is 10 out of 10. Even the formula of the mattes, that's usually my least favorite thing about Pat McGrath is the matte formula. I don't think that it's very blendable. I think that it's pigmented, but it's not super user-friendly. But the star of the show is always, like, the specialty shades, right? So I got these on a glitch for, like, $47 a piece. I couldn't fucking believe it. I ordered all of them. And the first few were fine, but there was stuff that I didn't like about each of them. I forget what number it was. I want to say it was, like, Bronze Seduction. There was one shade in there that I fell in love with. And then I tried Midnight Sun, and I'm like, okay, this palette right here, I get it. I get it now. I should have wore this eyeshadow today with the look that with, like, the sweatshirt that I'm wearing. But this made me get it, and I still don't feel that these palettes are worth, like, $128 simply because they always go on sale. Like, never pay full price for a Pat McGrath palette. Full stop. Don't do it. They always go on sale. At 20% off, 30% off, yes, absolutely. The package is fantastic. Like, packaging's 10 out of 10. Except for the stickers on the back. Like, why are we doing, like, embossing and then putting a fucking sticker under it? It drives me fucking crazy. But I'm like, you know what? For this color story, though, like, this is my perfect color story. You got the purples, you got the greens, you got the neutrals, you got the shadows that I can use for, like, my inner corner and brow bone. Staple palette for me. And it made me get the hype. Like, I get it. But I do find that these palettes can be inconsistent. So keep that in mind, especially when you're paying, hopefully not $100+ for it. But I also really like the outer packaging as well. There's other palettes that I like from Pat McGrath, but this was the one that I was like, okay, it all makes sense now. And I will give it to you guys. You decluttered all your Pat palettes? Midnight Sun and Bronze Seduction are my favorite Pat palettes. See, I like the newer ones too. I just wish she would give us more. Like, I know Pat could give us more. But this one, I feel like, was perfectly done. So, I'm okay with it with this one. But, we'll just say in 2023, I get the hype. I get it. Totally get it now. But, I think two palettes, specifically, were not given enough hype this year. And this is because of the era that I have been in, like my one and done. But these Urban Decay Moondust palettes are fucking bangers. Like, who got these? Because everybody join in and tell everybody in this chat right now how amazing that these are. Because I use these all the time. You know the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb highlighter? And how it's like perfectly sparkly and it looks like diamond dust. That's what these are going to give you. So when I wear something like the new Merit Beauty eyeshadows that's like a cream eyeshadow, or the Armani Beauty liquid shadows that I've been loving, and then you take this and pop it right on top, it's amazing. It's the most delicate touch of sparkle, but they're so fucking good. Look at that. These are incredible. Like, I feel like people know the hype with these because of especially this shade right here. If I had to pick between the two, between the silver and the rose gold, I would go with the rose gold one. I reach for this one significantly more than the other one. But look at how pretty these are. I'm just going to have glitter all over my hand. Like, when you swatch them, nothing super spectacular. It's when you put it on your fucking eyes. It's so good. These were so amazing. I was so happy when I saw that these were launching because of the state that I was in with, like, my overall just makeup aesthetic, but especially Space Cowboy. So good. Lacey, I love the Moondust palettes. I wish they were permanent. Samesies. Like, I hope they give us more of these with just more different colors because such good palettes. And it's like a perfect little, you could even travel with it. I just love how you could just pop these right on too. You don't even need a base on it. Oh, I love Space Cowboy so much. So, like, it looks like barely anything, but I'm telling you, it's when you put it on your eyes, spectacular. Spectacular. But guys, if I had to pick one palette of 2023, everybody needs to like this video real quick because this is where we're going to spend a significant amount of time on a palette because I talked about those palettes, all right? Like, they were cool. Love that. But there was no palette like this one right here. Like the video. I'm going to wait. There's 71 people watching right now and only 38 thumbs ups. And if you like what's on my eyeballs right now, you're going to want to thumbs up the video. Because when I tell you this palette completely rocked my whole fucking world this year, Unearthly Cosmetics Sorceress Smoke. And I even have 7 looks for you that I'm going to share today. And swatches. This was the only palette that I needed in 2023. Because just look at the color story. Y'all know how much I love neutral as basic as palettes, okay? It's so good. This is incredible. I think I was doing like a TikTok live or something as you're watching this right now, so that's why I'm talking as you're seeing me do the demo. But I wanted to feature 7 different looks because each and every look was gorgeous. Even like the look that I'm wearing today is this palette. One of my favorite things about this palette and what really made me fall in love with this palette is because I could use this on my eyes and on my eyebrows. So I literally reach for this almost every single day. I use this on my eyes and on my eyebrows today. I need to have like filler content right now because I want you to just see every single look that I did. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Such a beautiful look. I think that was technically my second look that I did, but this look right here was my favorite. So you're going to see in all of these little promos right now, I use every shade in the whole palette. Some of the looks, I forget to like hold it up and show you what shade that I'm using, but this is my go-to look right here that you're watching me do right now. I have done this look so many times. I get so many compliments on it, but I wanted to show you this because you're going to see the ease of use of it. You're going to see just the pigmentation. Some of the eyeshadows are almost like too pigmented, but they're not because they blend to perfection. If I had to pick a favorite eyeshadow brand, it's Unearthly Cosmetics right now because they're just fucking killing it. Amanda is out there producing the most beautiful color stories, the most beautiful textures. I love that I can do my eyebrows with this. Like, that is just a nice additional touch. And I'm telling you, like, I'll just let you guys watch and you're going to see how fucking gorgeous. This was more of the in-depth look at how I like to use this for my eyebrows simply because I use the shade Intention. I'll basically fill in my whole eyebrow with that. And And then I'll take the shade Soot, which is the black, and I'll just define my eyebrow with that shade. And that's it. But it's just let it speak for itself, guys. Isn't it so pretty? I should have shortened these a little bit so I didn't have to sit there and blah, 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 blah as you're watching this. But look at that look. Tell me that that is not a fucking stunning look right there. And then we have look number 3. This one, I want to say it leans more purple. So I think I started with the shade Intention. So I really like Intention because it looks neutral in the pan, but it has the ability to be pulled more warm and more cool because it's neutral. I feel like it's such a staple eyeshadow for this palette. And it's not super pigmented either, so you could really build it up. But if you mix Prophecy with it, it's going to pull more warm tone. If you mix Soot with it, it's going to pull more cool tone. Like I did today, I used Eucalyptus, and I feel like it stays pretty neutral, but then I took in this look right here, Nightshade, and it was a fucking wrap. Like, it's so pretty. I think this palette is $60. It's worth every single penny. It was just on sale. I want to say they were doing, like, I forget what percentage off. Like, there was a site-wide sale at Unearthly Cosmetics. It was a run, don't walk. I wish I could have posted this video sooner than now, so you guys could have taking advantage of that discount, because I'm like, look at that look. Paired with that lip, are you fucking kidding me? Gorgina. And this is the type of eye look that makes my eyes pop like crazy. So beautiful. Look number 4. Starting off with the shade Prophecy. This one, I think, is another staple for this palette because it pulls so beautifully. Prophecy on the crease, Intention on the inner and outer corner. What did I use for this one? Like, as I'm watching, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I did, because you can tell by my hair how long ago that I filmed these, but I've just been saving them and savoring them for this video, because I was going to title this just the best palette, because I truly feel that this is the only one that's worthy enough of, like, it's the best palette of 2023. I don't care what anybody says. It was such a good palette for me. And then all over the lid, I used the shade Vervain, I think. Throw a little bit of soot on that outer corner. Clean it up nice and sharp. Okay, I don't want to annoy myself or you guys too much, so we're going to pretend I didn't say that. But look at how pretty these are. Can I do some live swatches? Absolutely. I'll actually do those as I start the next look, because I don't have anything else to say other than this palette is fucking phenom, and it's beautiful. But I wanted you guys to see the versatility of this, because you look at it and you're like, okay, it's a neutral palette. But these pops of color that are in here, it gives it such versatility, and you get such different looks out of it. This is another one of my favorites. Like, with the slick hair, it was so good. All right, so I'll give you guys some swatches as you're watching these little demos. I'm just going to do them really quick on my hand and hopefully not fuck any of this up. I feel like you can tell, though, as you're watching, like, exactly what shades that I'm using, because, I mean, you guys have eyeballs, right? You guys have eyeballs and you've seen the palette. So good. Okay, how many of you have actually bought this palette already? Because if you haven't, do you love this as much as I do? This look is actually very similar to what I'm wearing today, except I pulled a little bit more of Prophecy, which is that almost like yellowish, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a yellowish, orangish brown. I love that look, though. Like, I'm so proud of that look right there. So beauty and so cunty. So good. Look number 6. Another one. So good. And if you're wondering, I did order the Dreamer palette as well. It just hasn't arrived yet. I actually think it shipped out Thursday, so I should have it hopefully maybe tomorrow, or I would think Monday. I'll enlarge myself after you're done watching, like, the demos of this, but there's the first row. I need a face wipe. Do you guys have any questions while you're, like, watching this just unfold in front of your eyes? So this one, I use the shade Transfixed, which is this, like, it looks almost like a bright green in the pan, but it's definitely more wearable, like, on the eyeballs. You haven't gotten this one yet? Girl, I love it. I love this so much. Again, it's my favorite palette of 2023. It's so fucking good. And it's not only because I love the color story, it's how easy it is to use. Like, how fast I'm able to get looks like this These ones are a little bit trickier, like when I do the wings and shit like that, because I don't do looks like that often. But the fact that I can get looks like this with a palette that's so easy, I fucking live for it. I'm missing one. Hold on. I'm missing one of my videos. I gotta add one. Hopefully you guys could still see me. You guys could still see me. All right. Let me... Last look right here. Look number 7. This was, I think, the most recent one that I did. Again, starting with the shade Intention. Let me proceed on with these eye swatches real quick, because this is where you're going to see this shade right here. It's almost like that neutral metallic brown. It's got like a golden undertone to it though. Super pretty. Kind of gives me like Tom Ford Naked Bronze a little bit, but a little bit deeper. That's why I love this look so much, because I love Naked Bronze so much, but it's obviously discontinued because everything that's amazing like that is always discontinued. But this, the shade Sorceress, when I had my hair slicked back, I'm pretty sure it was Sorceress I put all over my lid for that one. Because this one, it's got like the, it's got like a golden undertone, but a pink reflect to it. So it's like a slight duochrome. Do you like how you could see the flies flying past the screen too? I'm done. But look at how beautiful that is. Look at how fucking beautiful that is. Like, I'm not even that good at eyeshadow, but this palette makes me look like I'm that good at eyeshadow. Like, I look like that bitch when I'm wearing this palette. All right? I gotta do 2 more little swatches, and then I'll show you what these actually look like. I'm gonna show you this again, though, just in case you missed it. This is what the packaging looks like. Another thing that I really love about the packaging is they did an upgrade with the outer packaging as well. So it comes in almost like a cardboard box with the palette inside of the box on the inside. I should have grabbed it so you guys could see it. But those are the swatches that I did. These are the... Wow, I'm so out of focus. I should be way further back than I am. Sorry, guys. But this is the live swatches right here. So pretty. If I could add something into this palette, it would be like a Makeup Geek Cocoa Bear. Or a shade like this, but even deeper, because I love shit like this. But this palette is perfect. Like, I also really love taking the shade Vision. This is another one. It makes it a little bit more... Like, it warms it up a little bit, but it still keeps it fairly neutral. So if I go in with Intention and then put Vision slightly above it in the crease, it's a perfect neutral match made in heaven. But this is probably my most used eyeshadow in this palette as far as the mattes go. I definitely use the shade Potent the most. Like, that's what's all over my eyelids today. This is such a bomb-ass palette. Hands down, this is getting my best of beauty for 2023. Best palette. That's all I needed this year. And not sponsored. I wish I was, but I'm not. And I do have an affiliate link for Unearthly Cosmetics if you are interested. I will have all of these palettes linked down below as well. Do you guys have any questions? What were your guys' favorite palettes? I'm very curious. I need to know. I'm nosy as fuck. And again, I apologize for being late tonight because so much happening. I was live on TikTok getting ready. I looked at the time. I'm like, oh shit, I'm already late. And then I plugged in my camera and shit just went awry with all my settings. So I need to work on the settings with this background and stuff because I just brought these like bright lights. Do you guys like the lights back? Let me know. Or do you prefer when they're off? I'm always curious what you guys think. So let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. It will come back. What will come back? Is the Sorceress Smoke, is it sold out? Oh, current favorite palette? Yes! I bet that was so lovely. I mean, I need to play with the Bailey more. Okay, so that was one palette I thought about featuring was the Melt Cosmetics Bailey palette. I've only used it, I think, once or actually one time. And it is so pigmented, it's fucking insane. But I couldn't feature it just because I'm like, I only used it once. But the color story is really pretty. I do have a complaint about it. If you guys would still want a video on that palette, let me know. But my initial bitch about it is the shadows don't translate the same on your eyes as they appear in the pan. So for me, that's very misleading. And I don't like that. I hated the glitter from that collection. That's why I was asking if it's compatible with the shimmers. I paired the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome with the green today, and it was fire! That palette is fucking bomb. The Trio Chrome. Or is that Trio Chrome or Trichrome? Let's see. It's beautiful. I've never heard of the brand. I just added my email to be notified what's back in stock. Oh, well, I didn't realize it was out of stock. Fall Magic is another one. Here's the deal, guys. If you are looking for a palette that's going to give you like exactly what this does as far as like blendability, the pigmentation, the color stories, Unearthly Cosmetics is killing the entire game. Like, the way that Amanda structures the palettes and selects the color stories, like, I have no regrets whenever I buy things. Like, I get a lot of stuff sent to me. I can't remember if I want to say this was sent to me, but I did buy the Dreamer palette. Fall Magic was sent to me, but it's like, whether or not it was sent to me or not, I'm always like, yeah, I would 100% buy it. So, like, I am an affiliate, don't get it twisted, but I would never let that depict if I was to be like, yeah, it's amazing. No, I always like the Unearthly palettes, especially if the color story makes sense to me. And this, I'm just like, bitch, this is me in a palette. I think Amanda made this for me. Because I'm like, I could not have picked a better color story. I love it so much. Let's see. I really budgeted myself last year, but I did buy the Vieve 90s and love it. Yes, I love that palette so much. It makes me so happy when you guys love palettes as much as I do. I'd love to see a multiple looks palette with the Dreamer when you get it. If you guys liked how I did those multiple looks, let me know how many looks that you'd also want to see. But yeah, I like those videos as well. But it's like, this is where I live right here. I do the darker corner. I do the really light shimmery metallic on my inner corner. But I do love creating just like unique looks as well, just so you can see the versatility. And that's where when I was like, all right, this is it. I wanted to show, even though it's a neutral palette, you could still get the purples. You could still get the greens, especially if you have green eyes like I do. Even if you have brown eyes, I think that would be a bomb-ass palette. I'm going to say any eye color would think it would be a bomb-ass palette, but especially those ones because, you know, we have green eyes, so we love that. Sorceress Smoke is also my favorite. Fall Magic and the Oden's Eye Halloween collection is coming next. Yeah! Oh, coming in next. Okay. I love that. See, I really like Fall Magic, too. Really like Fall Magic. Unearthly never disappoints. Never, ever. Completely agree. They really don't. And I love the fact that Amanda is always paying attention and listening to what her audience wants. Like, I don't think that Amanda loves neutral palettes, but people kept asking for them, and she fucking delivered, and I love that. I love that so much. I love how just intertwined with her audience she is. I think that's really nice to see, especially in 2024. I have almost all the palettes and liquid lipsticks. The liquid lipsticks are so good. The satin lips, bomb. I'm on the Vieve site now. Listen. Rosa Blush or Cherub. That's all I'm saying. Really excited to try Unearthly. Tried Glaminatrix this year and loving them so far. I have not tried Glaminatrix, I don't think. If I did, I don't remember. But I feel like that's a brand that I need to try in 2024. If you guys have anything that you want to see me try this year or review, please let me know as well. I try to be more selective on what I'm buying. So if you guys want me to use something, please feel free. I bought the Glaminatrix Fairy Lights palette. Adept. Shit, that went down. What was it? Adept. Is it Sonoran Sunrise and the Element 115 and the Dreamer collection? I bought that whole ass Dreamer collection and all the lip liners. See, I buy just as much for Unearthly that also gets sent to me. I probably buy just as much, and I love that. I love supporting a brand that also supports me as well, because you guys always see Amanda in my live chats too. Huda Grunge was my number one this year. Yes! Warms My Blood is one of my favorites. I love that. I love hearing that you guys love Unearthly as much as I do too. All right, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below this video. Let me know future videos you guys want to see. I did get the new NARS palette. So video on that should be coming soon. I do have my Best of Beauty for 2023 coming as well. It's going to be something very similar to this where it might not be new products, but it was products that I was just using the shit out of this year. I definitely want to do a video on the NARS palette, like I said. Dreamer palette. If you guys want to see the Siren Sunset from Lunar Beauty, I still have that. I've got so much stuff that's just been sitting in here because I've been in like a creative funk. But also, I've been busy as fuck. Like, ever since, like, 2 weeks before the holidays, up until New Year's Eve, like, once my New Year's Eve party for my bar was done, I was like, thank God. I could breathe again. Because I just had so much going on. I'm in, like, constant party planning mode. So that's why you haven't seen me for, like, a month. So if you guys would interact with this video, I'd greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to give a big thumbs up or thumbs it down. That's cool, too. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye!